My plan for this video is talking about managing a bulging disc in the L region of the spine with yoga. And of course, if it's very serious, always go see, a professional physiotherapist, doctor who can help. And now I want to talk about the Brahma Granthi. And for a complete beginner, what you need to know is that as soon as you sit down to meditate, you have to wait for it a little bit. It takes time for your brain waves to sync from a very alert state into a more meditative state. And we call this a locker. There's a little locker here. You just gotta wait for it to open up. Later, you might feel unsafe. That means that your relaxation has become so good that in order for you to be able to relax further, you have to feel unsafe for the beginning, so that you have something to feel safe against. And so in Vajrayana, we say the chakra, the locker is the chakra. So if you feel unsafe, well, yeah, that's very good. Very good. Now you feel the chakra. That feels very real. Yeah, but the chakra is not real. It cannot hurt you. That they also say. I've had a bunch of experiences lately. I don't know if I'm gonna get to Swadhisthana next week or if I do something else. But for now, at least, let's take a transition. Let's go to the L region of the spine, and here is a little bit weak and you can get a bulging disc. So how do we treat that? We are going to start off by looking at a movement pattern from martial arts. This is Yuche from ITF Taekwondo, and it is Snap City if your form is bad. And this is something I've done. I've done this many times, and it is where I have gotten my bulging discs from. This kind of movement right here needs to be technically good. Not just that, but you need to know when to not strain your body anymore and stop. And you also need a good muscular brace around the area, and you need to know how to dampen your jumps on the balls of your feet, so to take away as much impact as possible. But even if you do that, if you go for too long and you start being sloppy and you don't stop, you're gonna have a bulging disc, my friend. 100%, I promise you. So I love this. This is very good. Everybody should do this. This is a great spiritual exercise for both the throat and the third eye chakra. But look at this. Look at the explosiveness, right? Look at the position. I mean, he's pulling his other leg all the way up to his butt. Now look at this. This is a completely awkward movement for the body. You better... And now look at this. Look at the squeeze on that thing. Look at the squeeze on that thing. The pressure on your spine. Yeah, this is 100% how accidents happen. This is Snap City. So we're talking basic level. And we want to build a strong belt that keeps this safe for us in our core, with core exercises around our spine. And here it is the squat and it's the deadlift that's going to do it for us. And that's going to be important after it's healed, and it's going to be important before it's damaged. So that's the most basic to keep this area. And it happens, right? It happened anyway. So now we have to understand what's going on and what can make it better. And what is going on is that somewhere in the L region we have an issue, and that's why our hip is hurting like inside of our butt, and it's going into our legs while we're standing on it. So we might be fine laying down and sitting, but as soon as we start walking, it gets worse and it gets worse, and we have to sit down. You will probably find yourself in this position right here, even if you don't know yoga, because naturally you're gonna figure out that if you sit down like this, the pain goes away. So it's very alleviating. And why is that? Either the pressure that pushes out the disc has been taken off, or the disc itself, where it is bulging, has been tucked in, so it doesn't bulge on our nerve. Now, I suggest that you start, before you do anything, by flossing your spine, so that we have a nice and mobilized area to work with. So that's the most important. So crown chakra, our priority crowning achievement, is to get rid of the bulging disc. And for this, we're going to need to find the healing position for recovery during sleep. 8 hours you can be there and just dry out that disc. It's very important that you get that position, and that we take away the inflammation as much as possible using natural means. Second crowning achievement is to get, the yoga routine. This is going to last for 8 weeks. You can come out of this with a yoga routine. It's such a cute little hatha yoga routine for you here. And the first pose is almost for free, because you'll be walking and there will be pain in your leg and you will have to sit down. And as soon as you hit that deep squat, the Malasana garland pose, it's so alleviating. You're going to notice immediately if you have a bulging disc, believe me, right? And I say, from this spontaneous kriya that you've earned through union with your body, you should say, focus on your chakra, and you should say Lam, because you're already there, you're already in the pose. And you will notice that when you breathe in now, if you send your breath really deep, there will also be an expansion at the very, so close to your tailbone. So that's very interesting how this position is so good for your tailbone. Very root chakra, very Muladhara chakra right here. And then we're gonna move to Kapotasana, the pigeon pose, okay? And check how nice I've made this. You have a little ghost here in red, invisible guy. And there's an arrow pointing towards the pigeon pose. So you see it's like a ghost, of where you used to be. And you go straight into here, and it says left and right tucking. Yeah, so you do both left side leg and right side leg. And this is a tucking movement. And when it's a tucking movement, you have to be careful, because you don't want to inflame it and have even more pain because the nerve is inflamed. You want to be very gentle. So if it hurts because it's a tucking position, okay, it's too early. It's too early to do this one. It will come later, trust me. Like 6th week, if you're gonna be the one to get it healed in 8 weeks, this surely will be okay. So don't stress it. If it doesn't work, don't do it. Don't hit it. Go try Bhujangasana, a low, a more Swadhisthana type Bhujangasana, because this is really more of the Manipura chakra, the yellow one. But here, if you do it really low, then you can get lower on your spine, and you can try to tuck now. Try maybe this tuck you can get instead of the pigeon pose. Is this the Bhujangasana? That's a cobra pose. Cobra, yeah, that's like very yogic. Oh, very kundalini. Now it's a cobra. And check here as well. You see it's kind of hidden behind him, but you can see the Kapotasana, and you can see an arrow that he went a little bit back, alleviating, and then into just rolling up into that Bhujangasana. Now here for the heart, nothing too crazy. We just do a alleviating puppy pose, right? Alleviating puppy pose. And that is the Uttana Shihusasana. Yeah, a small puppy, okay? So alleviating here. You can tell. And here also you see, of course, you see the ghost of where he used to be, and then he moved backwards. All of these are in flow. So you can look super duper cool, like you know what you're doing. Yeah, you're a Hatha Yoga, super duper guru, right? So it's gonna be very good. Now we're gonna move to Gomukhasana, the cow pose. And we're going to use something called Shakriva form. It means tornado. But don't worry, I have pictures, I have video, check this out. So I will show you a little bit here, and then I'm going to give you the name to this channel. Great channel, fantastic channel. Go over there, give him a like for me. Okay? We are not value takers, we're value givers, and I'm 100% going to say his name. But here you see the movement that I mean, right? So I also know this one. But his channel, at Move You, with just a U, that one is really good. He has more exercises that can really help you if you actually struggle with sciatica. So he has got so much good stuff. Move You. Big shout out, big thank you to him for his contribution. We used it. And then we're gonna look at something. This is a little bit advanced. It's called Akarna Danurasana. Basically, arrow shooter. So you see the way you're turning around. You have your eyes closed, and then you bend to pick out, you bend sideways to pick out one of the arrows in your quiver, and you keep your eyes on your hand the entire time. This is for your third eye. And then you take out the arrow and you lean forward and you basically shoot an arrow off of it, and the foot is your bow. Then you fire the arrow and then you bow. And then finally, for the crown chakra, it's roll on the tailbone. So you're doing hinges, small hinges, but you also do it with the top of your head, so it's your entire spine. So that's why that one is the crown. And then ultimately finding the healing position for recovery during sleep. That's super important. And we want, if we can tuck, we tuck, but in the beginning, man, be careful with that tucking. It's better to let it find the healing sleeping position and then sleep at night and let it dry out and maybe come back. Maybe now you can tuck, Of course, there might be strength exercises that, work very good for you, like raised leg plank. If that actually makes it feel better, do it. But be careful, but please continue to exercise. If yoga ends up being something you do on the regular, you can consider spending some money on equipment. It's expensive, it's money. And also maybe you can get some Kundalini exercises into it. Circular movement, getting to know yourself, work around the pain so you don't provoke inflammation. I got tons of them. Yeah, here's something I just give out like that. Super easy. This just takes a couple of minutes. Super easy. And here you have some more poses. The Svanasana, the downward facing dog, is very good. No pressure. And then of course chakra humming. Combine it with chakra humming. Do it blindfolded. Do it with music in the background. And you will surely be able to get your focus to a much sharper level. It's going to expand your consciousness. And of course, focus on that feel safe energy, that feel good energy. You're going to be able to bypass the Brahma Granthi and move up to a higher state of being.